What's up, everybody? This is Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, coming at you with a little bit of a different video today. Today, I wanted to get out my big box of knives. Now, this is just one box that I have. I have actually a couple of boxes full of knives. Obviously, I've been doing YouTube reviews for a little while now. If you can go back, check out all those videos. I mean, you might see something you like, maybe something you hadn't seen. But I thought I would just pull some of this stuff out randomly. I'm just going to stick my hand in here, swirl around. Hopefully nothing fell out of sheath. I don't want to get cut. I've had enough of those, in my life. Don't need any more. But I just thought I'd pull some stuff out, kind of show it to you, talk about it a little bit. And maybe there's something in here that you haven't seen. Maybe I'll pull something you haven't seen. Maybe there's something you have seen. Maybe we could do some comparisons of some of the stuff we pull out of the box. But it's going to be completely random. We're just going to pull it out. We're just going to see what happens, all right? So let's just stick our hand up in here. Again, this box is pretty full of knives. Let's see what's that. Oh, there we go. First one I grab out is a classic for me anyway. It is the Phobos Knives Operator 7. Guys, this thing is what I consider a flagship type model for Phobos Knives, along with the Steel Eagle 107 and the Tom Brown T1 Tracker, things like that. This is, I think, will always be in their lineup. I don't think they'd ever discontinue this big beefy chunk of steel. But guys, this thing's pretty awesome. I got a review on this, so go check out that video. Pretty much everything I have in this box, I've probably done a review on. But here's the Phobos Knives Operator 7. Look at that bad boy. I mean, this thing is just a nice, thick boy chunk of steel that is made to take some abuse. Phobos typically does 1095 high carbon steel. This one, they actually went with 1075 because they wanted to have, just that much more toughness resistance, because when Leo designed this, he designed it to have the hell beaten out of it out there in the field, hopefully saving some lives out in the battlefield and things like that. He wanted this to be a knife that you could definitely depend your life on and have good, ease of being able to sharpen in the field, but also be able to take that one hell of a beating. I mean, look at this thing, though. I mean, it's just awesome. What I love about Phobos Knives is they're 100% made in the USA. They source their materials here in the U.S. They're putting them together by hand in the U.S. I mean, you're getting a production knife with a lot of handmade qualities, if that makes sense. There's a lot of hands that touch these blades. They're getting sharpened by hand. They're getting heat treated. The handles are getting put on. This Rocky Mountain tread that you see here in the handle was put on by hand. It wasn't a machine. CNC machine or something that did that. So you're getting there's a lot of people that touch this blade before it makes it to you. It's not just produced out of a bunch of machines and very little human interaction with it. So there's a kind of weird sort of way. There's a little bit of handmade love that's put into each Phobos blade, right? And that's probably one of the reasons why Phobos is like one of my favorite companies. I mean, they're making good quality stuff that's going to last you a lifetime if you do your part and don't abuse your stuff. But Operator 7, that was a good pick for the first one. So let's stick our hand in here again. Now I have quite a few different knives. I have a lot of stuff from Phobos. I have stuff from that's a leather sheath. Oh, ooh. This is an interesting one to pull out right here, guys, because this one isn't necessarily a name brand knife. This is actually one of my designs, and JS Knife Works made this for me. So I kind of drew this thing up. I'm an amateur knife maker. I've dabbled in it. I've made a few things, but this one was one I drew up, and I was like, I just didn't think I could pull it off. And so I hit up John over at JS Knife Works, and I said, John, okay, man, can you make this for me? Because I think it'd be a really cool blade. And he sure did. He pumped it out for me, man. And I just really like this thing. I think it's super cool. I like the design. I'm not trying to blow smoke up my own butt, but I think it's pretty cool. So check that out. Little harpoon shape, kind of. I don't know if it's a harpoon shape, but kind of some of the theory behind this was I wanted to have something that, obviously you wanted to have a finger guard up in here to protect your knuckle. I wanted something that where when you wrapped your fist around this blade, I wanted the blade to come down and line up just right even with the knuckles. So this is just a natural extension of your hand if you're having to punch out and or do something, or do some slashing motions, you know, like cutting some hide off of an animal or something like that. With this little swoop right here, you're definitely getting penetrating, you know, tip there. It's wedged down a little bit here, so you still have a very strong tip, but you can also rest your thumb right here, or even kind of hook it over this little spot right here. But basically, I just wanted a nice 4-inch kind of extension of the hand. I wanted a full-size grip. If you can see there, I wear XL gloves. I wanted full-size grip. I wanted your knuckles protected, and I wanted you to just be able to come in and do whatever it is you needed to do with this thing in forward or reverse grip. So as you can see here, even if you come in reverse grip, you still got the blade lining up with your knuckles. So if you had to come in and do this, I don't know why you'd do that, but if you did, I just kind of wanted it to fit really nice. John, I think, did a really good job of making my idea come to life, and I'm hoping one day maybe we could see this coming out of a company. You know what I mean? Scott over at Phobos Cutlery actually did a review on this, so I'll leave a link to that review down below. You guys can check it out. So don't take my word for it whether or not this is a good design or if it's a functional design. You can see Scott over at Phobos Cutlery actually put this thing to use, this exact one. So I'll leave that link below so you can check that out. But I like this thing. It's pretty cool. Probably would do something a little different with the sheath, but that's another story for another time. So let's see what else is in here. Oh, and that's a 80 CRV2 still, by the way. What is that? It's kind of funny. I've handled these knives so much, I can almost kind of tell what they are just by holding them. Oh, what's that? Oh, all right, guys. So this is actually a new one for me. It's not new. I mean, it's new. This is actually the last review I just did. This is the Tkell Knives FMF Frogman field knife. You know, this thing is pretty awesome. Again, another USA made company. Tim over there is a former Marine, U.S. Marine. His wife, and basically him and his wife started making knives. He started making knives with his wife helping the business out, and that's about it. And then there's I think two, maybe three other guys now that are helping him, but for that's it. And man, Tim and his little crew over there are banging out some awesome blades. I mean, this thing is 100% made in the USA as well. Check this one. This one is AEBL steel. He does a lot of his knives in this steel. He does 80 CRV2. As he progresses through his knife making, you know, career, he's always trying to innovate and, you know, get what's going to work the best, be the most cost effective, but also work the best as well. So he's always picking high quality, you know, steels and products to put his knives together. He's nickel boron coating these blades, which is something you don't see any other knife company doing. I don't think is doing. They'll do DLC or powder coat, Cerakote, which is all good too. But this nickel boron, if you don't know what it is, it's the same type of stuff they put on bolt carrier groups in a certain item that we shouldn't mention here on YouTube because we'll get flagged, right? But man, it gives us like a level of lubricity so when you're cutting through stuff, it's very slick, easy to clean, gives it more corrosion resistance. I mean, and it's just on there. And if you look at this blade, obviously you're saying, well, look, it's wearing off. It's not wearing off. It's getting polished. I mean, this is kind of polished from where I was, you know, batoning it through some wood during my review. And actually, I like it because it gives it character, you know. But Tkell Knives is definitely making some killer stuff. I mean, very, very awesome. Set that off the side. Let's reach in here. Let's go stick down to the bottom. I don't know what this is. Let's see. Ooh, well, another Tops Knives, guys. Guys, I have a lot of Tops Knives, so don't be surprised if you see a lot of tops come out of this box. But this, guys, is the knife that started my addiction to quality blades. Quick story. A few years ago, my wife was like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, I didn't really, you know, typical dad guy. I don't want anything, you know. But she's like, well, what do you want? What do you want? And I had always wanted this knife ever since I saw it in the movie The Hunted. Just like everybody saw this knife in that movie, and, you know, it kind of, you know, blew up, right? And I always liked that movie, and I thought it was a cool flick, and I always thought this knife was cool. But back then, I just didn't know much about quality knives, and I was like, I thought, oh, that's just way too expensive, you know. There's no way I could have justified buying that, you know. And so I just told my wife, I go, I want this knife. I put it in the Amazon cart. Well, she ordered it for me. Kind of funny. She just threw the box under the tree. You know, I knew what it was, but it was funny. And she, come Christmas Day, I open this sucker up and I take it out and I get it in my hand and I'm like, oh, damn! Like this was more than what I expected. Like, I kind of had this like, oh wow, now I get it. Now I had this. I know. I didn't question the price at that point. You know what I mean? Because it was just like I got this thing in my hand. You could feel the quality. It's a chunk of steel. I mean, it was just the fit and finish. Everything was great on it. And I was sitting there just like drilling over this thing. And then my wife's like, well, let me see this $200 knife. You know, I think at the time this was $200 on Amazon, which the prices have gone up, you know, unfortunately, because we all know inflation and stuff. But I think I got this for like $2 or $210 on Amazon at that time. So I handed this over to my wife and she picked it up and she goes, oh, okay. I get it. Like and I swear, ever since then, she's never really questioned my knife purchases since then, because I think she realized too that, you know, I'm not just buying something that you can get at Walmart or whatever, you know, like these are legit quality tools that are going to last you a lifetime. And this one's the one that started it, man. And next thing you know, I'm down a rabbit hole and I'm making YouTube videos and I'm you know, going to Blade Show and I'm helping out Tops in at different events. And man, I've just met so many great people and gotten to do so much like cool stuff basically because of this knife right here. So this knife right here, the T1 Tracker, will probably always have that special place in my heart, because this kind of got me down a rabbit hole of quality knives. And man, I'm so glad it did, because I've made a lot of really cool friends through this knife community. And this thing, you know, I can kind of say it's because of this knife right here, the T1 Tracker. So this one will always be special to me because of that. I know some people love it, some people hate it. I love it. That's just me. It's okay if you don't, though, but I love it. So anyway, story timer there, right? So let's reach in here. What's this one? I don't even know what this is. Oh shit. So again, like I said, I got a lot of Tops knives, guys. It's not on purpose, and I'm pulling these all out. This is random stuff in this box. This right here is the collaboration that Tops Knives did with VTAC, with Kyle Lamb over at VTAC, Vikings Tactics. This is the Norseman. This is the biggest blade in this VTAC line. They had the Patriot XL, the Norseman is the biggest. God, what's the middle one now? I'm having a brain fart. The Crusader. The Crusader is the mid-size one. But this one right here, I don't feel gets enough attention. I don't think any of those blades get enough attention. They're fantastic blades. I love the Patriot XL. The Crusader's definitely a cool battle belt knife, I would say. And this thing is just a good all-around, you know, survival style blade. It's funny is a lot of people look at this handle and they think, oh, look at that handle, it's just too skinny or whatever. Man, this thing feels ridiculously fantastic. I mean, it just fills my hand. It's comfortable. I did a whole review on this. Go check it out, man. It's awesome. This blade just doesn't get enough attention, I feel. It came with a nice Kydex sheath that had actual Blade Tech Molly clips on the back. I didn't have anything to strap that to, so I actually sent this over to Big B, Bernie B. Velarde, the sheath over there, and he made this really cool leather wrap belt loop setup for this Kydex sheath. So this is a Kydex sheath that comes from Tops, but this leather wrap is cool because I can just unsnap it. I can unroll this, take the belt loop off, and I can, you know, flip it back around, carry scout style if I want, and not even have a belt loop. Or I could just put the belt loop on there and wrap it back, snap it. So it kind of gives me the option of carrying it vertical or horizontal, which is very nice. And it just gives, I think it's a really cool look, and I think it really matched up with this blade well. But it's got this nice built-in kind of ramp here for your thumb, so when you draw this puppy, it just pops right out. Kind of go to work. I mean, this is 1095 high carbon steel. Oh, check this out. I forgot to show you guys. Look at Look at that vine work that goes down the spine. They call it blood vines or something like that. Very, very cool blade. Very quick. I mean, this is something that, again, if you're out in a survival situation, self-preservation situation, or just general all-around tasks, this thing's going to hold up pretty damn well. I mean, it's a nice knife. And again, I think it's one that doesn't get a lot of attention. What's this one? Oh! So, it's not a tops knife, guys. So, check this out. This is the Becker, this is the BK18, I think it is, or 19. No, 18. So, this is the BK18. So, this is made by Phobos Knives under Becker's knife, BK. This is a very cool blade. It's got this harpoon style shaped blade to it. And this is one of those ones that when I picked it up, this whole blade was actually tan color like the sheath. It had this like coating on it. It was like really thick, almost like a rhino liner type coating. And I really liked the blade. This thing performed fantastic in my testing, but I just didn't like how stuff stuck to that coating. So I actually stripped this down. I popped these handles. These aren't the original handle scales either. These are the upgraded micarta handle scales that you can buy for these from Becker BK Knives. And so I put them on there because I really just like micarta. But I popped these handle scales off. I took some citrus strip and I stripped all that coating and stuff off. And I just really love the way this blade looks now. I mean, look at that. Very, very nice. This thing is very ergonomic, fits in the hand. The handles fit very, very well. This is an easy maintenance blade. The jimping on here is very nice. It's not overly aggressive, but it's there if you need it. I mean, you could do a lot of stuff with this blade, EDCs type stuff. It's not overly large blade, but it's not under smaller blade either. You got a nice lanyard hole here on the back, and you can also adjust some attitudes here on the back with this kind of pummel. Again, I did a full review on this thing. This performed very, very well, held up very well. It held its edge. I believe this is 1095 as well. But the sheath was actually pretty cool too. So it's basically kind of ambidextrous. I mean, it holds the blade with this here, that clip. You got this belt loop right here that you can either switch from this side to this side. So you can go left or right-handed carry. There's plenty of mounting holes here, so you can obviously attach it any way you need to whatever gear you have. But I mean, this thing's got a little bit of rattle in it, but I mean, it's just a super secure sheath. It ain't gonna fall out. It's got a couple of nice drain holes here on the bottom. You see that? But put your thumb right here, pops it right out. But I think it's just a very, very cool looking blade. Once I took that coating off, man, I think it stepped up the game. So very cool blade. I like that one a lot too. Just do a couple of more here. Don't want to make too long of a video. What is this one? Oh, all right. So this, guys, is the Architect Knives AK8. So this is an 8-inch blade, and man, you need something big and heavy duty out in the field. This is going to be a good one. So Architect Knives is very cool. They're made in the USA, especially like this one, because this one was made by Tops Knives for Architect Knives. Basically, this one's the 1095 version. They do have a MagnaCut version, and I do believe there's a, what's the other steel? I don't want to misquote. There's 2 other different steels that they make this knife in. I know MagnaCut's one of them, and I think White River Knives is making their MagnaCut. Tops Knives is doing the 1095 because that's just what Tops Knives does. They do a fantastic job with their 1095. But man, this thing is pretty awesome, man. So check out it's got this really cool black carbon fiber sheath. I guess what I was leading to was, what's cool is you go on the website, you can build your knife out. You can pick your sheath, color, whatever it is. You pick your blade size. I think it's 3 inches all the way up to 8 inches. It's like 3, 4, 6, 8, something like that. You can have a fire rod holder put on here. Pick your sheath. You can pick your handle scale colors like micarta or G10. You pick your knife steel. You pick, do you want just a plain sheath with no dangler? Do you want a dangler? Do you want a belt loop? I mean, this one's kind of cool because it actually gives me the option of either running this as just a belt loop or a dangler. I just have to take this little piece off here and kind of carabiner clips right there. And very, very cool. All high quality stuff. I mean, this is a nice thick piece of leather. This carabiner belt loop is just heavy duty. And man, and check out this knife, man. Look at this bad boy. Very, very cool. Now, one thing I will note is it does have a fire rod striker right here, this little notch right here in front of my finger. Now, they are changing that, and the newer, I think the magnet cut models and stuff are going to have this. Instead of having this little notch for striking the fire steel, they're actually just going to do a solid section of 90-degree spine to make it a little bit easier to strike your fires instead of just having this one little spot right here. So that's something to notice. But this is one of the first runs, so it has a notch. But after some feedback, they decided that just having a nice, long, flat 90-degree spot would be better. But, I mean, that fire striker still works very good. But 8 inches of just, man, this thing's got nice enough weight to it to where you can do some very good chopping with it, but it's not overly heavy that's going to weigh you down too much if you're carrying it around hiking all day. Edge on it was fantastic. I mean, this thing held up awesome, just like I would expect it to. And very ergonomic handle, feels great in the hand. So, you know, Architect Knives did a fantastic job designing this. Tops did a nice job of building it, and the way that you can just kind of customize the whole package to your liking makes it a very cool setup. You know, I really dig this blade, and it has a nice, cool kind of locking sheath mechanism here. So there's this little dot right here. You see this right here? You can actually slide that up. There you go. Slide it all the way to the up position, and it'll basically kind of tighten up, make it, you can pull it out, but it's a lot harder. So it's almost like a lock. And if you slide it down, pull the knife in and out very easily. Slide it up, makes it a lot harder. So if you want to have more security of your knife, like while you're hiking and things like that, you can add that. That's built into the sheath. So very cool option to have. Tkell Knives does that on their knives as well. I think I forgot to mention that. So on the FMF, they have the same kind of thing. You kind of loosen this nut right here, slide this up, and it kind of locks the knife in just in the same manner. So it's a very cool option. I'm not sure who did that first, who did the whole locking thing first, but that's a discussion for other people, but I ain't gonna worry about that. Let's see, let's find something with some leather. Feeling around. Oh, don't stick myself. I know there's a leather sheath in here somewhere. Oh, that's leather. There we go. So, this right here, guys, is a case knife, right? I'm having a brain fart on the name of the knife, but this is a case. Oh, this is a CTS. This is kind of like the CTS 3. It's like a kind of a clip point, big old belly hunter. Check that out. Look at that. And so what's kind of funny is this blade had a coating on it as well, kind of like the Becker did, and I just didn't dig the coating, man. So I it was black, and I just winded up stripping it off again with citrus strip, and man, I'm glad I did, because it just made it look a lot nicer. It was a cool blade to begin with, but I mean, having this kind of, I like this gray look to it. This blade was made for going out in the woods and for hunting. It's got that big belly for skinning out stuff and caping and doing all that. Obviously, they put the orange handles on it so that way if you dropped it in the woods, you wouldn't lose it. You'd be able to find it easily. It came with a nice leather sheath with a belt loop. One thing I wish they did a little different was, instead of having this snap over retention like this, you see that? I wish they would have maybe put the retention up here somehow. I'm not a big fan of this, just because when you open this up, if you don't get your thumb or your finger and push it out of the way, a lot of times when you draw the knife, if you can see this, it'll drag across that strap and you wind up cutting it. It's weird. It's just kind of one of those nature of the beast type of things. You just got to be very careful when you're drawing this blade out, that when you go to pop that snap, run your pinky right here and then grab the blade and then draw it out so you don't drag it across here. And the same thing when you go to resheath it. When you go to resheath it, you don't want to let this be right here and you go to resheath it, because you're just going to cut the strap. So I'm not a big fan of those straps. Even on the knife that I designed, the guy who made the sheath for me, JS didn't make the sheath, somebody else did. They went with that same thing, and that's just one thing I don't like about it. Is it's not my first choice. But guys, this is a 1095 high carbon steel blade as well. Very light, very cool blade. I really love the shape of it. It's kind of like a cross between it's like a little mini Bowie in a way. And I love Bowie knives. I just think they're cool, but has a nice tip for piercing. Got this nice ramp. Very comfortable handle. It's got enough grip on it here, so if your hands get wet or bloody from, you know, taking care of your animals that you're out hunting, it's going to easily take care of, give you some grip so you can take care of that. It's got a nice lanyard hold as well. Very cool blade cases. There's 2 other blades in the CTS line. I don't have those yet. I would like to get my hands on them to review those as well, but this one I just really like the blade shape, so that's why I got a hold of it. So let's do a couple more and then we're just going to wrap this up. Let's see what else we got in here. Ooh, what's the handle? I'm feeling the handle. Let's feel it. What is it? Oh, the Phobos Knives Wild Pig Hunter. You know what? I grabbed the handle on this and I was like, I think I know what that is. Guys, Phobos Knives, again, I know there's a lot of tops, but this guy's is the Wild Pig Hunter. This one, again, is another one of those classic blades. Very, very cool. Designed to be out in the woods to hunting those pigs, man. You got this very, very acute tip. I mean, I'm telling you, this thing is sharp. It's a super strong tip as well, because if you see here, see how this is kind of cut out right here? It's like a swedge. That's to help reduce weight, but it also tapers it down, but then it comes back up, so you still have the full thickness on the tip. So if you're having to pierce that pig's hide while you're out hunting, you have to get that close to a wild pig, good luck. But I mean, this thing is ready for it. You got 2 little guards here that'll help keep your hand in place. I got the Rocky Mountain tread on the handles to help give it that extra grip, so if you had to come in there, like I said, do that piercing, you can. But this thing is thick enough to do other work as well. Like you had to come in and baton some wood in a bad situation, start a fire, you absolutely could do it. This thing is, I mean, this could be a wicked fighter too. The sheath, again, is a little bit different in the fact that I really like the sheath. It's nice. Leather sheaths from Tops are always really good. This does have that strap that comes over, but what I like what they did with this one, it's kind of maybe one of the acceptable ways of doing this is it goes actually over the back of the blade where there's no edge and snaps on. So if I pop this off and I pull this out, I'm not worried about it cutting. It's not going to cut that because it's the back of the blade where there's no edge. And when I go to resheath it, again, it's the same thing. I go to put this in, it's right here. You can see I'm not worried about cutting it. It's just because it's the back of the blade. Now, if this was a double-edged blade, it'd be another story. It wouldn't work. But this way, I think it would, if you have to do a sheath, I think that's the only acceptable way to do this, because you're not going to cut it that way. But the Wild Pig Hunter is another one of those classic blades on the Tops lineup. There's a thing that's just cool, wicked, man. I mean, even if you don't pig hunt, it's just kind of one of those blades where you're like, this is damn cool to have. So we'll pop that back in. All right. I don't know how many more we should do. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We went through 9. Let's make it an even 10. Okay, so let's reach in here, find something. Oh, what is that? I wonder what that is. Yeah, maybe not. I think I knew what that was. It's funny because sometimes you can feel the handles and you're like, what was that? What is that? What is that? All right. Okay, we got a knife that flew out with that. All right, so this is the Phobos Knives Alaris. Guys, this thing is cool, man. This is like it's like a camp chef blade. Like, it's just, check that out. There's a big old belly on this thing. It's got this beautiful swedge up here at the top that comes, swedges down, but then it thickens back out, so you have a nice strong tip. Beautiful thumb ramp. The ergonomics on this thing are fantastic. Phobos Knives is another one of those American-made companies. Eric Hansen over there, I mean, they're just, man, he's just making some really cool knives. I mean, he puts a lot of thought. I have a whole video of him talking about this knife, the Calula and the Tier 1 BC, like what all the design features that he built into these knives. Definitely go check that video out. That was really cool of him to sit down with me and talk about his blades and explain the design features. But I mean, his blades, man, they just hold up fantastic. This one is S30, I believe this is S35VN. He does have my Tier 1 BC's Magna Cut. I think my Calula is S35VN. And this may be as well. I don't remember off the top of my head. But thing is awesome, man. It's just, this is one of those blades where you can use it, carry it all day, use it at camp. You're at camp, man. You can roll, chop your veggies, you know, dice up stuff with it. But then you can also come in and do some little like chopping with this bad boy if you need to. And I'll tell you what, I did my whole review video on this, right? I batoned through some wood with it. I did some chopping with it and stuff. And I tell you, look at that blade. Does this blade look like it's used? Like that? I don't know. I don't know what coating they put on this blade. I think if I had to go back and look at the specs, but I think that's just how well made these knives are. I mean, look at this. It looks like it's brand new. I mean, there's a couple of little tiny marks on here. I bet you I could even wipe those off. But I would almost be willing to bet that I could probably put this back in the box and put it out, and somebody would think it was a brand new knife for sale. That's how well this knife held up. I mean, it maintained its edge. The heat treat that Eric puts into these blades is fantastic. And I mean, there's a lot of really awesome high quality blades coming out of the US from smaller makers, guys. You don't necessarily always have to go with the big name companies. A lot of times I feel like you're going to get probably even better quality and badass blades out of some of these smaller companies. Phobos Knives is one of those. Tops Knives, I still consider to be a smaller company. Tkell Knives, smaller company. Fantastic blades. They're just all very awesome. Architect Knives, sourcing their stuff from US made companies, like White River Knives and Tops. I mean, they're just great blades, guys. And the Laris here is no different. This thing is fantastic. Very well made Kydex sheath. You could pop this part off, take it off, and screw it the other way so you can have it ambidextrous. They do have some leather sheath options that are very nice as well. But man, that's just a great blade. You know what? I'm going to go one more. Should I go with the one that fell out? I don't know. What's this one? Okay, last one. Oh, well, look at that. The last one that I pull out for today is the Phobos Knives Calula. I can't even say it right. Guys, this thing is wicked, dude. Look at this bad boy. Nice EDC fighter, man. This thing, again, this is another one of those blades where I did a full review where I was chopping wood and batoning with it, and look at it. It looks like it's brand new still. Very nice. I love these handle scale colors too. One thing I could say for all of the Phobos knives is the jimping here on the back is just very well rounded. Nicely rounded off, so it's aggressive where you got traction, but it's not digging into your finger or your hands. You have these nice little attitude adjusters on the back of them as well. Generous lanyard hold. This thing just fits in the hand like this, like it's meant to be carried, and it's just very quick, very intuitive feeling. In the reverse grip, same thing. I don't know why I do this like this. I just think it looks cool. I have no idea if that's actually something that people would ever do. But again, you got a nice swedge here on the top coming down. You got and then again it winds back out to the tip. I don't know if you guys see that. It's kind of hard to, gives it a nice strong tip. And the edge on this thing, on these Phobos knives, is just ridiculous too. I feel like all these companies do a fantastic job out of the box with their sharpness. Again, you can got this dangler here. You can actually reverse that left or right. But another great offering from Phobos Knives. Guys, I still have tons of blades in here. So here's another Tkell. We're not going to go over all these. This is the Gallantry from, no, not the Gallantry. Can't even remember. This is from the Survival University, made by Condor Knives. What is this one? Oh, this is a classic Tops Knives Showdown Delta. Got the Armado 6.5 from Tops Knives. Okay, I'm just gonna pull all these out. I guys show you guys. I wasn't kidding. Sandbar Bowie from Sterling F. Buster. The Springfield Armory Hunter's Blade collaboration with Tops. Here's the Phobos Knives Tier 1 BC. Tops Knives Tech Creek XL. Tops Knives Prather War Bowie. Tops Knives Longhorn Bowie. Outer Limitless Accomplice from Tkell Knives. Oh shit. The Yukon Hawk from Tops Knives. Had a hatchet in here too. The Tkell Knives Striker. The Tops Knives Max 7. This is honorably discharged. Check out that dagger. Look at that bad boy. Woo! That's kind of one of my little collector pieces, if you will. Oh, there's another one. Tops Knives Tex Creek 20-year anniversary model with a sheath custom made by leather with a leather sheath custom made by Craig from Tops Knives. He made the sheath for me to house this beautiful 20-year anniversary model Tex Creek. Set that down. Got anything else? Oh, there's another one in here. There's a couple of things in here. So this is the Tops Knives, the classic Steel Eagle. Fantastic chunk of steel. This is the Tkell Knives TS87 screwdriver. This thing is AEBL steel. Look at this thing. Guys, highly recommend you check out my review on this thing. It's pretty damn cool. Anything else in here? Oh, well, guess the last one I pull out of here I'll talk about since I made it. This is my, I call it the Reaper's Razor. The sheath right here was made by Aaron Morgan for me. Or no, wait. No, I'm sorry, not Aaron Morgan. The sheath right here was made by Craig over at Tops Knives for me. I felt it really matched the theme of this blade. I kind of went with a dark, rustic kind of look. Look at that. Got some black and green micarta handle scales. Got this nice kind of big belly with a little swoop up here tip. Give it a little bit of a fantasy look to it, but fully functional knife, guys. This thing is fun. I really like it. It's ADCRV2 steel. I made it, designed it, and made it myself. I don't think I did a bad job. Tooting my own horn there. Got this thing hair popping sharp too. But very fun blade, very cool. I like it. It's just something a little different. I always like different, but there it is, guys. I mean, we talked about 10, 11 knives over here. I kind of showed you a bunch of stuff I pulled out of this big box of knives. And I still have another big old box of knives. Maybe I'll pull that one out next time and we'll go through those. But I just wanted to show you guys some blades, share some stuff with you, talk about a few things, and I hope you enjoyed this video. You guys have a safe day, wonderful day. Stay safe, stay sharp, and we'll see you next time.